Hi everyone, this is Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman from the Jewish Executive Learning Network. I want to share with you a quick, short and sweet clip. Somebody asked me by email the other day why I sometimes do videos from my car. The answer is it's the only place sometimes that I have peace and quiet and a little bit of privacy without the phone ringing nonstop, the computer, email, Facebook, YouTube, and everything else going on between the law firm and everything else. It's the only place sometimes I have a little peace and quiet to share with you my thoughts and things that are on my mind. So a question that I've been asked a lot recently, it's a question pertaining to change. I'm very pro-change, pro-growth. In general, when a person wants to upgrade themselves, their life, their spirituality, they want to pursue their dreams, there's things they're going after, I'm in favor of that. And so since I'm a change person in general, certainly in a spiritual sense and in many other positive ways too, I think about it and I get this question a lot, like, why are sometimes people negative about our change? Why is it that change is people oppose it? You know, maybe you seem happy, maybe you're starting to keep kosher, maybe you're keeping Shabbos, maybe you're becoming observant, or other changes in your life that seem positive, you're not hurting anybody and you're happier, and then you express that to people. Why is it sometimes that your friends, your family, your spouse, your parents, I don't know, people around you, why are they sometimes like negative about the changes you're trying to do? Well, the easiest answer, people like to say, it's just a knee-jerk reaction. They say, oh, they're just negative. You know, people, I'm vegetarian now, and now people are just, they're just negative about vegetarian. Or certainly something will have the, more spiritual. Sometimes the person will say, well, I'm becoming more observant and keeping the Torah better. And I don't know, the person just maybe doesn't like Judaism, God forbid, or doesn't like Jews, or doesn't like observance. I don't know, though. That's the easiest knee-jerk reaction. But I'd like to share with you maybe two ideas that are a little bit deeper and a little more textured and nuanced, which might help you understand, in many instances, why people are negative about the changes you're trying to make and grow and do and undertake for yourself. One answer is that sometimes people, I find, could be very attached to a version of you that they know, that they like. It might be the version of you, whether it's real or imagined, but that's the way they got to know you and they relate to you and they liked you. Could be for a day, a week, a month. Could be for the semester. It could be for decades in certain cases. People are very attached to that version of you and they don't want to lose you because they think that if you change, maybe they're going to have to let go of the you that they always knew and loved. And they're attached to that. And even though some of your changes might be going on for a while, for weeks or months or longer, sometimes people don't connect the dots until late in the game and they don't realize you're different. You're different than you used to be. And all of a sudden it hits them and they become scared because they're attached to a version of you. They didn't connect the dots. They see a version of you slipping away that's not the one that they thought they knew or the one they liked, and they become negative about your change. So it's important to understand that could be part of what's going on, why people could be opposed to changes that seem positive. I'll give you a second answer, second insight. Sometimes people I've found in life could be negative about the changes you're undergoing, even if you seem happy and they seem all positive and healthy. And that is because you might be becoming a model of something, of change, of growth, of what's possible that they're not comfortable with. Let me explain a little bit better. Sometimes in life, people have dreams, hopes, aspirations, goals, all kinds of things that they wanted for themselves. And for whatever reason, they quit. Maybe they got lazy, maybe they got married, maybe they became real, quote unquote, realistic. Maybe they quit, or their dreams became too hard, or they wanted things that you want and they just let it go. Sometimes when you're changing and growing, you are actually becoming an actualized, fulfilled version of yourself that other people around you once upon a time wanted, and they quit. They don't want it anymore. Or they just quit on it because they didn't think it could happen. And you're doing it. You're becoming that, whatever that is, becomes actually for them a model of what's possible. But instead of viewing that model of possibility of change and growth and progress as something that they should celebrate and they should now want for themselves and say, hey, he could do it, she could do it, they could do it, I could do it. I can reignite that dream for myself. it could be possible for me. Instead of celebrating it and having that kind of reaction, sometimes, sadly, people become negative instead. They become negative, and they become negative about your growth because you busted the status quo. They no longer thought that thing was possible, and now somebody that they've seen all along is able to do that thing. It hurts. It's a little bit of a challenge for them. On the second nakuda, the second point, why people could be negative about change, where do I know that from? I've not just seen that around me in life, but the first place I see it from is the Torah. If you look in Rashi, you see that people were very opposed to Avram Avinu when Abraham wanted to give himself a bris milah, circumcision, so late in life. And the question you might ask is, who cares if a 100-year-old man wants to give himself a circumcision? Why would the people in the world come and want to oppose that? Why would they want to stop him? It's a good question. Like, think about it. If down the block, whether in Brooklyn or somewhere else, wherever you're watching this video, somebody wants to take a scissor and remove a piece of their skin, is everybody in the world going to get so worked up and try to stop them? So the answer, some of the Baalei Musar say, Rav Moshe Aaron Stern Zatzal and others bring at this point, and that is that the reason sometimes people oppose this, and the reason they opposed Avram, is that he represented a model of what's possibility. Back then, people were very magush and very physical and dominated by the physical. And in the area of the male-female relationship, in the reproductive relationship, there was no kedusha, no sanctity. No real sanctity. People were running around like animals. They were hungry, they ate, they were tired, they would sleep, thirsty, they would drink, and if they had an urge in that area, they would seek to express it. Comes Avram Avinu, and by doing the bris milah, he added kedusha, sanctity, and holiness to that area of the body. And people didn't like it because they said, wait a minute, he grew up just like us and he's adding kedusha in this area, that sanctity, an area we had no interest in that from a long time ago. We thought wasn't possible. That's why they sought to oppose him, because he represented a model of what's possible. So that could be another reason why sometimes people are negative about the changes you're trying to do. Anyway, this is Rabbi Shlomo Zalman Bregman of the Jewish Executive Learning Network. I hope you enjoyed today's short and sweet clip. I'm realizing now that it's about 7 minutes, so this clip is no longer so short. Anyway, it's freezing cold in Lakewood, so I seem to often be bundled up and huddled when I'm recording a clip. Anyway, have a great, great, great day, and we'll see you the next time. Thanks.